Hello and welcome to Footy Judge Mo Champions League night. What a night for Onana, but also Gabriel Jesus, the superstar, as I told you so. With him, Arsenal front line look better, and it showed today. David Raya, mistakes, but the day was all right for them. Winning away from home in Spain against Sevilla, probably guaranteed top of the group. Hopefully, we'll know. And also, Harry Maguire saves the day for Manchester United. I got a great panel for you today. We got a great show going on for you. But we're going to start right away with introducing the guys. True Gunner TV is here with me. Brandon is here, blessing me with his appearance for the second time on the channel. Love talking to the guy. Welcome and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the invite again, Mo. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Good win, huh? Let me get the other guy buzzing, all white. Fantastic guest. Love talking to him. And I love his opinion because he's so passionate. And I love that in a football fan. You have to be passionate. You have to back your club. Some people call him like, yeah, you're over the top. You're more optimistic than others. Mr. Positivity. It's the one and only Dawood is here with me. Big up, Dawood. Thank you for accepting my invitation. Appreciate you being here, my man.
Thank you for having me on, Mo. Good time in my debut. Special night for us in the Champions League.
Yes.
Yeah, smiling 24/7, man.
Yeah, 100% people. And Arsenal today, listen, that goal from Gabriel Martinelli, it's all about Jesus. Fantastic goal from the counter on the halfway line, the turn, the weight of the pass, everything. I'm going to start with Brandon. You were a little bit skeptical about this lineup. Jorginho, he didn't start Partey for whatever reason. I don't know the reason, to be honest with you. But did it work? Do you think it worked?
Yeah, I suppose you have to say so because we won the game, right? And I don't want people to get this twisted, right? Because going to Sevilla is not an easy place to go. It's not an easy place to go. Yes, it's Champions League. Yes, people argue that they're probably Europa League level team, but they have European heritage. Going to Sevilla is not easy. And we had to win the game tonight because of our result against Lens. We had to win tonight. If we'd have come out of there with a loss tonight, then we would probably be staring Europa League football in the face. So it's good to get the win. I thought defensively, especially, we was very, very, very good tonight. Very good tonight. We defended that area really, really well. I don't think we was great, especially in the first half. I think in the first half it was very sideways, backwards, slow, lethargic, a little bit boring. And then we scored the goal against the run of play. Brilliant breakaway. As Mo pointed out, it was all about Gabriel Jesus. Brilliant turn on the halfway line. Nice weight of pass for Gabriel Martinelli. And then the finish, it's all about being cool, calm, and collected in that situation.
Because he missed the first one, though.
That's the first goal. Yeah, the first.
No,
goal.
but he missed the first chance, the 1-on-1.
He did, yeah.
And I thought it would be in his head when he was going 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. All I can think of is the first chance. I'm like, is he gonna think about the first one, or is he gonna be calm? And watching it again, oh boy, he was calm.
He was so calm. Yeah. And the way he went around the goalkeeper, cool, calm, collected in the back of the net, lovely. Going at half time. And something changed at half time, Mo, because when we come out in the second half, for a 5-10 minute spell there, we looked like the Arsenal of last season. We were scintillating going forward. Every single time we went forward, we looked like we could score. The front three were interchanging really, really well. Gabriel Jesus was excellent in that period as well. Gabriel Martinelli with his energy. Everything looked very similar to what we see from Arsenal last season. Then, of course, the second goal. What a finish by Gabriel Jesus. Sometimes I complain quite a lot because when we see Arsenal get into areas like that, and sometimes we just play the easy pass. We play the safe ball. Sometimes we find ourselves in a position like that, and then we kind of go backwards and then start again. Sometimes when you're in that position, you just got to shoot, and as a number 9, a striker, he made the correct decision. Whether he missed that or not, for me, he made the correct decision shooting from there anyway, because it's like you've got to do that as a striker. You know, sometimes you've got to take responsibility, and he took responsibility, and it was a brilliant finish. And then, you know, you go 2-0 up, and you think, okay, cool, we're cruising now. You know, we're cruising. And then, you know, up the other end, 5 minutes later, concede a corner. And this is the only.
You cannot do anything about that goal, by the way.
No,
there's nothing.
No,
people wanted, like, I saw on Twitter, like, to be honest, like, I just want to cut you off a little bit. I just want to interject a little bit. I saw this people on Twitter, and I hate this. You're really just trying to find the freaking negative thing. It's a corner kick. It happens to every team. Sevilla, Sergio Ramos, and the other defender, they are known for having aerial like abilities and stuff. Just stop it. Just move on. It's all right.
Yeah.
I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like it was all over the. Oh, look at the marking. Look at this. Why when the marking? You're not gonna have a game without mistakes.
Yeah.
You're
no,
not
I
gonna
agree.
do that. Like, you're playing well. You're defending well. And I appreciate. I'm sorry. I'm gonna listen, people. There's a lot of about 60 of you here, and we're only 5 minutes in. Can we get to 50 likes right off the bat? Like right here, right now. Hit that like button underneath your live chat so we can get more people to watch. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm gonna go to Dawood. Sorry, if you don't mind, Brandon. Dawood, listen today. Jorginho started. I actually didn't like him in the middle. I thought Declan Rice had to drop a lot deeper to get the ball, and maybe. You can say it worked, but I thought like it could have been better if Declan Rice was the 6, because I believe, and I don't want to be negative, I believe Declan Rice can do Jorginho's job better than Jorginho.
Yeah.
Like, so why? Can you explain to me, in your opinion, why the double pivot? Why Declan Rice was so deep? He spent so much energy trying to get forward, but also drop deep, which is something I appreciate. But why not play somebody else?
Yeah, I think the only reason he's playing Jorginho because there's not a player right now that Arteta trusts to play that number 8 role except for Rice and Odegaard. I think when it comes to Fabio Vieira, Kai Havertz, Emil Smith Rowe playing that 8 role, starting from the game, I'm not sure if you trust him or not. And as well as Jorginho, past 2 games playing that 6 role by himself, he's been struggling a lot. They're getting past the press. It doesn't seem like we're losing that creativity when we play as a pivot with Jorginho and Rice, and we're looking like we have to score a worldie. Like that Gabriel Jesus goal came from an individual brilliance from Jesus. I mean, that Martinelli goal came from a Jesus in brilliance. The Jesus goal, individual brilliance. We haven't scored a goal yet where it's been a build-up play like last season when we had the 2 8s in Xhaka and Odegaard. Odegaard looks so... I don't know what's happened to him this season, but I think him playing as a lone 8, as it seems now, he doesn't have that kind of support. So I don't know what's happening. We've lost a lot of creativity playing that pivot. And I think first of all, I think it makes us stronger defensively. That's one of the main things. I think this season compared to last season, where we're struggling in the 10-15 minute period, when we're struggling, we do look like we're not going to concede. So that's the positive about playing a double pivot. But you lose that creativity. And if we're going to win games 2-1, 1-0, I'll take that. We've only lost 1 game in 14 games this season, all competition, 14, 15 games. So it's looking positive. We're looking like a very, very tough team to play against. And we're going to places like Sevilla Stadium. We've gone to Stamford Bridge. We've gone to so many away grounds now where we actually do look a bit invincible. But yeah, it's looking very, very positive, and I'm gassed. I know. Yeah, technically we are. We only lost 1 game.
Yeah. So I wanna move on to not move on. I want to stay with this point. Is that having Declan Rice as an 8 isn't helping the fluidity of the game. However, it's helping the isolation. Like, how many times we saw Martinelli isolated as a defender, taking him to the line? How many times saw Gabriel Jesus isolated? But also, I want to see an actual 8. I know Joe, big up Joe in the chat. Guys, Joe is one of the brilliant content creators. He keeps telling me Declan Rice is a world beater. Declan Rice is better than Partey. I'm not buying it yet. I am not. He's not.
He is.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
As a 6.
Yes.
Look.
What?
The one thing that I'll say about Declan Rice, right? Just going on about today's performance. When we go 2-1, we concede that goal from the corner. It was always obvious that the game was going to switch in Sevilla's favour in terms of them being the more attacking side, right? Because they're in a desperate situation.
And they're at home as well, the fans. Yeah.
And they're in a desperate situation like what we were. You know, like if we didn't win that game today, we're staring Europa League in the face. If they don't win that game today, they're staring Europa League in the face. So that's how much of a big game it was for both teams. What I liked so much about Arsenal today, not just the way that we defended our own area, but when you're in them sticky moments, you need players to stand up and be counted. Every single week so far this season, Declan Rice has been that man. The player who stands up when your backs are against the wall and he produces what he needs to produce. And I think he's been a big part of the reason as to why we have won these games where we haven't been playing particularly well, because he is the one who stands up in the face of adversity and just goes, I'm your man. And that's why I look at this, right? And people probably say this is a bit reactionary. I just said it on the terrace as well, right? For me, give Declan Rice the armband. Give Declan Rice the armband.
That's a joke, isn't it?
He is the
You're joking. You can't do that. You'll destroy Odegaard's confidence. No, Brandon, you cannot do that. Logically, you cannot.
No,
would you agree with this?
Yeah, Brandon. I think
you cannot do that, Brandon.
I think you're getting a bit too gassed.
No, Brandon. I'm sorry.
Right, okay.
I think you know what it is when it comes to
football,
captains,
Brandon. If you do that, Odegaard is done, bro. The confidence is shattered.
Logically, maybe you can't do that, right? Logically, maybe you can't, right? And I understand that. But for me, when you look at a captain, the captain is the player that you look to when you need them. Odegaard doesn't stand up when he's needed. In fact, he doesn't stand up enough when he is needed. When you need a player who's going to stand up, grab the game by the scruff of the neck and be that player that you can rely on, Declan Rice is that guy every single time. Martin Odegaard so far, he had a poor performance against Chelsea. He wasn't great again tonight. And look, I don't put it all down to Martin Odegaard, because we was talking about, you mentioned about Declan Rice and doing the 8 role when he should probably be doing the 6 role. I think Darwood's right. I think we've got an issue here where we've made a little bit of a mistake in the transfer market. What I mean by that, like people will say, oh, he's talking about Kai Havertz again. I think initially when we signed Kai Havertz, he was coming into the club as the 8. He was coming in to do that Granit Xhaka role. We found out in recent weeks that Kai Havertz doesn't suit that role. And in actual fact, what he excels at is coming on late in games and being that player that we can go long to, that can hold up the ball. He did it against City. He did it again tonight. He did it against Chelsea as well. And he excels in the aerial duels and holding up the ball. We don't actually have a player that can do that 8 role. Fabio Vieira isn't of the level. Emil Smith-Rowe, I don't feel like Arteta trusts him, like you say. So we're in a position now where we've got to play Rice in the 8 and we've got to play Jorginho in the 6, purely and simply because Thomas Partey is not available. And he is never available. And I think, unfortunately, as harsh as this might sound, because I think on his day, Thomas Partey is arguably one of our best, if not the best player in our team. When you're not available as much as what Thomas Partey is, you have to move on from him. Yeah. And I think eventually what we're going to do, and hopefully we'll see it in January, is we'll go out and buy somebody who can play in that 8 role and, move Thomas Partey on and play Declan Rice in the 6. And I think that's part of the reason why we're not seeing the same amount of fluidity as what we see last season. And that's part of the reason why Odegaard is dropping absolute stinkers right now, because he's there on
Rice at the 8. Listen, 100% I agree with you. 150% I agree with you. Listen, let me do this. For Fromis Gunner is saying Tomiyasu incredible tonight. Yes. And Zinchenko can play 8. Yes. Put Zinchenko as a left 8. Why not? Put Zinchenko as a left 8. You will see Odegaard ball again. Put Zinchenko as left 8 and Rice.
I think
you'll see Odegaard.
Yeah, you say that, Mo. But I think when Arteta signed him, he said that he's only going to play left back. And you know how stubborn Arteta is when he comes out with a statement and says, "I'm only going to do," he's going to stick with it.
That's stupid, because I agree. I think you've got an in-house solution to this problem. Zinchenko, when he plays left back, he's not really left back anyway, because he inverts into the midfield and he's always pushing forward in that kind of 8 role, right? And what was so good last season is because you had Zinchenko inverting into the midfield, pushing forward, and you had Granit Xhaka pushing forward. You had 3. Ultimately, when you was attacking, you had 3 attacking midfielders in Odegaard, Xhaka, and Zinchenko, with Thomas Partey in and around that 6 area. So, like when we was attacking teams, you had our front 3 plus another 3 behind them that were all just focused on attack.
Yeah,
you can play Tomiyasu in that left back area, because he did very, very well again tonight, and do a similar thing to what City do, where they play 4 centre backs across that back line, and then have Zinchenko in that 8 role with Declan Rice in the 6. And I think Mo's right. I think if you do that, I think you'll see a Zinchenko that excels, because he doesn't have to do defensive work, which we know he's very poor at anyway. And you'll see Martin Odegaard start to excel again. And then you've got Declan Rice, who's covering as well. So I don't see why that shouldn't be a solution. And I don't see why Arteta hasn't already thought of this.
What do you suggest, Dawood, then? So your suggestions, Dawood, are like, guys, we have over 100 people here. Can we get the likes up to 100, guys, so we can get more people to watch us? Subscribe if you're new to the channel. This is a daily content for you. But hit that like button. The like button is underneath your live chat. If you don't know where it is, if you're on your cell phone, underneath your live chat, click the X and then hit the like button. Looks like thumbs up. And if you're on your laptop, it's underneath your video. So, Dawood, what's your suggestion then? To just throw Odegaard away?
No.
Because you can't get a tune out of the guy.
No. It's not just Odegaard. I think that's silly. I think
of course that's silly.
I think Bukayo Saka's not performing. Are we gonna drop him and sell him?
I thought it was all right.
Gabriel Martinelli, he was poor against Chelsea, very, very poor. Today he played really well. He still needs to improve when it comes to his end product, I think. Gabriel Jesus, his all-round play was good today, but against Chelsea he was very poor. So we haven't had a moment yet in our team where we've had the whole squad, the whole starting lineup performing at their best in form. We've had players performing well here and there. I think with the amount of players that we've signed, I think with the system change that we've had and the amount of competitions that we play every 3 days, I think we need an adjustment period. I think you'll see us playing with a bit of fluidity, I think in November, December. I think for now, just getting the points in the bag. I think now just players getting used to each other, getting used to that new formation, new positions. Rice never plays an 8, so he's getting used to that position. Tomiyasu now, a fully fit Tomiyasu is probably one of the best or most underrated defenders. But if you play Tomiyasu and Zinchenko at the same time and you lose both of them, because they both do have a weak calves, they both got weak calves and they always get injured. If they both get injured at the same time, that's 2 left backs that you've lost. And then we're going to be in a crisis. We've only got Jakub Kiwior as our only left back. So I think the reason why he plays either Zinchenko or Tomiyasu is if either one of them gets injured, we've got one of them. You can't play both of them at the same time.
Then address it in the January transfer window.
But he did that. He did that with the Timber. When we bought Timber, that was the solution.
But this is the point, though, isn't it? This is the point. You're saying, don't play both at the same time, because if, either or gets injured, then, we're in a situation. And I get it. But Timber's on his way back to full fitness anyway. Yeah. So you can kind of play them two anyway. I just look at it and I think that's probably the best in-house solution that we've got. Why hasn't Arteta tried to experiment with this yet?
He might have done it in training, because
I know, but we see him in training and an in-game situation is completely different. He was quite happy to experiment putting Thomas Partey at right back. which
no,
that's
not experiment. That's not experiment. I have to think with you that he played Thomas Partey played right back for Atletico Madrid, so he did play right back
on occasions. But the point is, it was an experimental thing at the time, right? Because we didn't have any other options, so we had to put Partey at right back. But it was an experimental thing. We all knew that Thomas Partey at right back doesn't or wouldn't work because he's better in and around that midfield area than what he is at right back. So if you're happy to experiment with Thomas Partey at right back, why haven't you experimented with this Zinchenko thing? Because if it does work, number one, it saves you a lot of money having to go in and spend on somebody else in January. Because right now, I look at the situation, right? At the top level, most games are won and lost in the midfield. What's the one thing that's changed for Arsenal since last season? The midfield. The midfield's completely different.
This comment. From Miss Gunner again, thank you for the support to the channel. It's Xhaka and Partey truly made our offense click. I believe that. You guys don't want to admit it. A lot of Arsenal fans don't want to admit that Granit Xhaka, you challenged for the title when he hit the peak of his career. In that left 8. And Odegaard, I
blame Xhaka. When Xhaka saw competition, Xhaka.
Why do you blame the guy?
The reason why I blame Xhaka for leaving is because when he saw competition for that 8 position, he knew that if he had a run of games that was out of form, that he'd be dropped out of the team and he'd be on the bench and he wouldn't be able to handle that. He took the easy way out. He went to Germany. And Granit Xhaka, he cannot handle competition. Okay, so
why didn't Arsenal address? Okay, I agree with you. Fine, we agree with you. I'm not gonna say anything. It's not a coincidence that when Xhaka hit the peak, Odegaard hit the peak, Partey hit the peak, Martinelli scored 15 goals, Saka had 20-something GA. That's not a coincidence, Dawood. This is all a machine that clicked together.
No, but last season,
why didn't in the summer your manager and your club address that? I saw it, Brandon saw it, and I spoke about it in the summer. And I'm telling you, I told Arsenal fans the stubbornness of playing Havertz in the 8 might cost Arsenal the effectiveness of the offensive side of the game, right? And you see that now. Arsenal should address that, and the only solution I'm seeing, I'm not criticizing them for that. I am actually now seeing the solution. Now it's popped up. Thank you for from its gunner, Zinny in the 8. It's the only thing that hasn't been tried.
Mo. Okay, one sec. Let me mention the reason why he's not playing Zinchenko. Zinchenko only got 1 goal for Man City in his career when he played for Man City. 1 goal. He's only scored 1 goal for last season against Aston Villa. He's not a goal threat. He cannot score goals.
Xhaka was never a goal threat.
No, but Xhaka's always had a shot on him. Since he's come to Arsenal, he's always had a rocket of a shot on him.
It's different when have a shot on him when the guy had 14 GA, bro. Just put that in your mind. 14 GA. Granit Xhaka, just deep that number.
But
Granit Xhaka, the guy that everybody wanted out, that people said he's trash, had 14 GA. And in the same time, everybody else had 20 GA.
But Mo, you have to look at another thing. We didn't play every 3 days last season. Last season, we played the same lineup, same 11. We had 6 days to prepare for a game. We play on a Saturday, then we play the weekend after. We had a whole week to rest. We had the whole week to prepare for the new team. Now it's literally every 3 days. Every player, we're changing formations. We're not formation, we're changing lineups. We're changing players, personnel, every single lineup. So that has a way of, and all the team know how we play now. You can't play the same way back to back seasons. The way Chelsea played against us last weekend, because a couple of days ago, they knew that if we play against Arsenal, man for man, and we actually play football against them, we're going to lose. So they changed their style against us because of, they know we've got a history of now playing a certain style of football. Last season, no one knew how we played. Last season was a way where it was a surprise to everyone how well we played. And teams were playing the same way against us. So I think now we can't judge Arsenal last season this season. I think that's very, very unfair.
Hello, Staffy. Welcome. Congratulations. Onana's back. Anyway, we're talking about Arsenal, so I'm gonna keep talking about Arsenal. Will Stewart, of course. Will, oh my God, Will is amazing. Amazing guy supporting me, of course. Here, I think Arsenal fans are finally realizing that you are not the same as last season. How do you get back to the quality of last season? Who's at fault?
You
Fantastic.
You won't. This is the point that I'm making, right? We've made too many changes
Thank you, Will.
all at once. Most games.
You didn't. You made one change.
No, most
You
games.
replaced Xhaka only.
Most games at the top level were won and lost in the midfield. Our midfield is completely different this season to what it was last season, apart from Martin Odegaard. Yeah, because we ain't got Partey because he's not been available, right? And that's on Thomas Partey. That's not on anybody else. You know, he's just not available. Yes, Declan Rice has been a revelation since he's come in, but he's playing a different role to that Thomas Partey role. He's trying to do, like Mo said, the 8 role, which was the Granit Xhaka role. We signed Kai Havertz, realised he's not good enough in that 8 role, and now we're using him as a player to come off the bench and do the hold-up play, you know, at the end of the games, which is where he does excel. So we haven't got anybody in that 8 role that Xhaka... So the fluidity is lost, right? We've made too many changes in that midfield area. It's not necessarily down to the manager because Granit Xhaka wanted to leave. He had to go. Thomas Partey is not fit. But then the replacements that he's brought in, you know, apart from Declan Rice, Kai Havertz was never an 8 anyway. And then on top of that, he's changed the goalkeeper as well. So there's 3 big changes there in, you know, key positions on the pitch at the top level of the game. David Raya, is he an improvement on Aaron Ramsdale? Very slight. Very, very slight at the moment. And then you look at the midfield and you think, why are we lacking fluidity? Well, that's the reason, because the midfield isn't the same. If you have Thomas Partey in this team, if you have Thomas Partey in this team next to Declan Rice, I guarantee you our fluidity would be a lot better. It'd be a lot better.
Let me do this super sticker. KK, thank you for the super stickers. Thank you for the support to the channel. And I'm assuming that you tried to send a super chat here and it didn't go. KK, but thank you for the super chat, the empty super chat. Send a question or something and we can get it addressed. Dawood, I want your answer to Will. To Will. Do you fix it? Is there a way to fix it?
The funny thing is, we're talking like we've got a crisis, and we're going.
Nobody said you're a crisis, but do you think this is sustainable? So the first part of the question: do you think this is sustainable? Can you go 38 games like this?
I remember
relying on individual ability. Is that?
I'm not comparing us to Man City, but the first period of last season for Man City, were they playing well? Were they playing with that same fluidity? No. From the beginning of the season, last season, all they talk about January, February, they weren't playing no fluidity. They were just winning games. What we're doing now is we're not that same Arsenal years ago where we're playing that beautiful football, where we're looking like highlight FC, YouTube FC, where you think, wow, I can't wait to watch this game again. No, this Arsenal team has changed. Get points in the bag, win games when it comes to not playing well. How many times for the past 20 years where we don't play well, we end up losing? You know, from minute 1, when we're long balls, we're losing our duels, we're losing everything, you think it's a long day. We've lost this game. You can sense it from the first 5 minutes.
But last season, that was different. Yes.
What happened? Yes, we started playing poor last season during the end period, and then we lost every game.
Yes, at the end of the season, we fell off, right? But for the majority of the season, we was top of the league, playing the best football in the league. And now we've completely gone the opposite direction.
No, Brandon, we couldn't handle adversity last season.
Listen, when you break the games down, let's break the games down individually, right? Nottingham Forest, opening game of the season. We win that game 2-1. If that game goes for another 5-10 minutes, maybe we don't win the game because Elanga was causing us loads of problems, right? Then on top of that, the following week we go to Crystal Palace. We win the game by a penalty. Yeah? So is this sustainable? Probably not in the long term. Right now,
I disagree.
You know, we're getting away with things, and we're not complaining because we're getting the points, and the points is all that matters. But eventually we will come unstuck, and this is where we need to have a plan. And this is why I'm not against the Zinchenko playing in the 8 role at all, because he offers more in that 8 role than what he does at left back, because he's always in that position anyway, and he offers more than what any other midfielder that we've got can offer in that 8 role. Like, let me ask you a question, Dowd, right? Would you prefer to see a midfield of Odegaard, Zinchenko in the 8 and Declan Rice in the 6, or would you rather continue on with our midfield of Odegaard, Rice in the 8 and then Jorginho as the 6? Because I know which one I prefer.
Yeah, obviously I'll take the first one. Yeah, but Jorginho is our third choice holding midfielder. He's our third choice, and
he's now become the first choice. The reason being is because Thomas Partey cannot stay fit. So we're going to rely on Jorginho a lot more than what you think, my friend, this season.
I think because the reason why Jorginho's played the past 2 games, because we cannot risk playing Smith Rowe or Havertz away to Sevilla and away to Chelsea.
And think at home, the super chat. The super chat. Thank you for the super chat. KK finally got it. I'm gonna get Staffy's Manchester United opinion in a bit because he has to go. Arsenal midfield is too negative and it's too defensive. That's
I disagree. We went to Sevilla. Sevilla drew against Barcelona. Well, not Barcelona, against Real Madrid a few days ago. Okay, this isn't a Sevilla team that's getting bullied by everyone. Okay, they drew against Real Madrid. They got a point against Real Madrid. You're not playing 2-8.
I think this is a general comment. It's not only about this game.
No. But Arteta does not play 2 6s against teams like Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United, Bournemouth. The smaller teams. So this Saturday coming up against Sheffield United, you're not going to see him play Rice and Jorginho. You'll see him play Rice in the pivot, and you'll see either Havertz, a Smith Rowe, or Fabio Vieira playing alongside Odegaard. Because we know teams at Sheffield United are going to sit the whole game, and there's no point playing 2 6s. But away against Man City, against Liverpool, against United, against Man City, against Chelsea, you have to play a pivot because that's a way of winning. And we've done it. We're undefeated in the Premier League. We're top of the table in the Champions League. And I won't be negative one bit. I think the performance that we're having, yes, is not the standards that we had last season. But last season, when there was adversity, we couldn't handle it. When we were losing, when teams... Last season, when we were 2-0 up, a team will score to make it 2-1. We're shaking. We concede the equaliser. This season, Sevilla scored the equaliser. To make it 2-1. What happens? I'm not worried at all. I'm sitting in my chair, not worried, because I know my team's going to find a way to win the game. That's the difference between this season and last season. We find ways to win games.
Yeah. Well, again, with another super chat, I think that's directed to you. Right now, your results, to me, remind me of Spurs under Conte first half of the season. Last season, results, but bad performances. City comparison isn't analogous. I can't read that word. Can someone read
that? No. Will, that's talking nonsense. That's from a Spurs mentality. How are we playing like Conte's last season at the beginning? That is nonsense. Okay, absolute nonsense.
So Dale, tell me.
Okay, hold on. Staffy, I want to get your opinion on Man United. Do you think Arsenal are compared to Spurs last season is unfair? Getting the results without fluid performance.
Wait, comparing this Arsenal to Spurs,
this Arsenal getting the results, unbeaten, all this, you win, but the performance is not fluid enough. They're relying on individual ability. Do you think that's fair? That comment from Will.
Wait, can you put up the comment again? I want to see it again.
It's here you go.
Right now, your results to remind me of Spurs under Conte. I think it's a little bit too harsh. Well, I get what you're saying. I think you guys played worse football than Conte. That's very harsh. I think Arsenal haven't been as good as last season, but they're definitely not Conte level. Conte, that shit was horrible to watch. No one wanted to watch it. Even Spurs fans didn't want to watch it. But I get where he's coming from, where he's saying the performances are not as good, but they're getting the results. I think the last season, Spurs were even getting results. Listen, they've regressed a little bit. I forgot who said it when I joined. Was explaining how you guys had to change your style of football a little bit because Last year, no one knew. I think it was Daoud who said that. Last year,
Yeah.
no one knew how you guys played, whereas this season it's easier to predict how Arsenal played, which is why the manager's trying to find different ways to play. But yet, it's not looking that fluid. Is not looking easy on the eye, and you guys are not convincing as you were last season. But you're getting the results, so I don't think you guys should be complaining that much. To be fair,
Yeah.
There is no reason to complain for this Arsenal team. That's what you think.
no, they could complain, but it's as long as you're winning, you shouldn't be that upset because at the end of the day, it is a results business. If you're United not picking up wins, I mean, today we did, but just like in the beginning of the season, no style of play, no wins, then you could complain. But you're getting the results as you guys are developing, which is my
Mo. There's a difference between the way United played today and the way we played today. United, if we had the same performance like United today against Copenhagen, I'll be worried. That's the difference, Mo.
Well, you're comparing Arsenal to Man United. I think that's
no, but we're talking about performances.
You shouldn't.
I'm talking about the performances. If we're performing like that, Man United, and going back to that Conte, when it comes to bad, they were getting dominated. Okay, we haven't been dominated. Okay, how many games can you name this? Brandon, name me one game this season where you think, yeah, we didn't deserve to win at all. We got dominated.
Where we didn't deserve to win at all.
We deserved to lose. Sorry, and we got dominated. You can't name any games.
I can't name any games where we've been dominated. No, but like I pointed out earlier,
it's a coin toss. Then so it's a 50-50 then.
Like I pointed out earlier,
no, it's not 50. You can't name any games.
We won the Crystal Palace game by a penalty.
10 men.
We didn't create.
You were so dominant, Brandon. To be honest, you were so dominant before the record.
Yes,
you were so dominant to the point that I thought this Crystal Palace team had no life.
We was dominant in which way, though, Mo?
In controlling the ball, getting the ball where you wanted on the pitch, getting your wingers involved.
Yes, but having possession and doing something with it is two completely different things.
Oh no, Brandon, come on, man!
How many clear-cut chances did we create in that game? Right?
Not a lot. But you created enough to be ahead.
On top of that, in other games, and look, I agree, you make your own luck. But in other games, we have had the rub of the green. Specifically, Manchester United. Garnacho. If he scores, we lose the game. Okay, cool.
But
he was offside.
That's a defensive masterclass from Gabriel, knowing to go offside.
Yeah, maybe, but it's fine margins now. This is what I'm saying. When you're winning games by fine margins, that's when it's like, is this really sustainable? Whereas last season, we was blowing teams away. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that we have to blow teams away week in, week out. I get the point that you made earlier about playing a double pivot against the bigger teams. But even when we play against the smaller teams and we don't play with the double pivot, we still don't look as fluid as what we did last season.
Because you don't have Xhaka.
And this it's not that. No, it's not that.
Can I do the super chat? Francis, thank you for the support for super chat. And then after this, I want to get to stuff about United because he has to go. Oh my God. Who the F do these Arsenal fans think they are? I don't know who you're addressing here, Francis. Constantly expecting to blow teams away. I think that's you, Brandon. Spurs under Conte. Half City regressed. This is madness. Too many questions here. Too many questions. But thank you for the support. Thank you for super chat. Guys, we have 180 people here. Can we get to 100 likes at least? This is embarrassing, to be honest. It's Dawood's debut on the channel. Can we get to 100 likes? Please do. Hit the like button underneath your live chat. Don't embarrass me in front of Dawood. Staffy. Yeah. Go ahead, Staffy. You wanted to shout out something.
No. I said at the end of the show. Don't worry about it. What's your question about the United game?
Harry Maguire. You remember me? No, I said Harry Maguire. You remember me?
Oh, okay. No. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Hey, I'm here. I'm here.
This guy is shameless. Oh my God. This is why I call you corrupt.
Mo is here.
Let me talk about
you guys. Do the Arsenal fans know what happened?
I'll tell them what happened.
Okay, Maguire scored the winner. Onana saved the penalty in the 96th minute.
I think they know that.
1-0 at home. Harry Maguire scores the only goal, and Onana saves the penalty.
So did you predict this then, Mo?
No, I said Maguire deserves a start.
Okay, no, that's not what you said. Let me tell you what Mo said. Mo told me, would you be starting Maguire day in, day out when Varane and Lissandro are available? That's what he asked.
I absolutely
see how that makes a huge difference, Mo. That makes a huge difference because on their day, all three of them, Maguire is not better than them. I actually did on
No
my
one
match
said he's better
preview.
than them. No one said that.
So why would you ask me? Would you start
I'll
him
tell
when
you
two of
because
them are
at the
available?
moment he's performing and he does not deserve to be dropped.
At the moment, he deserves to start. If you watch, clearly you don't watch my match previews because I put him in my in my starting 11 for this match preview. On my match preview. So me and you agree in isolation. This game, Maguire deserves to start. Yes, because I said players that are playing bad deserve to be benched. Players that are playing good deserve to start. I totally agree with you. But that wasn't your question. You spoke hypothetically when all three of them are available. Would you start Maguire? No. When both of them are back and available, are 100% healthy, I wouldn't be starting Maguire because all of them on their day, Maguire is the least between the three. So that's completely different. But listen, you tried to mow agenda and the mow agenda failed. So let me go to the game.
He started, he scored, he saved the day. He saved your managers.
Your agenda
he saved
failed.
your managers' job.
I wish you were as right as you are loud, but you're not.
Do you know what I find really ironic at the moment? You got two players there.
Don't say Scott McTominay's name. I
In
swear.
McTominay and Harry Maguire that are saving your manager's jobs week in, week out. Well,
no, McTominay almost
crazy.
Wait, what are you talking about? McTominay cost us 2 penalties back-to-back games. What are you talking about?
McTominay also took you out of a hole by scoring 2 goals as well. I remember that.
Okay, that's one game. He's the reason again today.
Eric Ten Hag needs to be humble. Eric Ten Hag
Eric Ten Hag needs to hold it because
Eric Ten Hag is humbled already, Dawood. Like, come on.
No.
He has been humbled enough this year, Dawood. Like, he has been humbled enough, bro.
Eric Ten Hag today put a disaster class. I'll tell you that. At halftime, he took out Amrabat with no injury, and he put McTominay in the 6th to bring on Eriksen. This is like the 5th game in a row where he brings on Eriksen at the 45th minute. He loves bringing him on for second half cameos right now. And listen, I'm gonna hold my hands together and say, listen, it's working. I'm okay with that. But I don't want to watch.
What do you mean working? I'm sorry. I watched the highlights. You could see there's a lot of chances, bro.
No. Hold on. Listen to me. In the second half, every time we bring on Eriksen controls the midfield a little bit better. However, today he messed up and he brought.
Why didn't he take Ten Hag out? Why didn't he take McTominay out?
If you let me finish, Mo, I'm gonna get to
it.
Where he messed up, I am saying he messed up today by taking out Amrabat instead of McTominay because he took out one controller who's a little bit deeper than Eriksen, and he brought on another controller who could play a little bit more advanced. Last game we saw when Eriksen came on and played next to Amrabat, both of them looked well. They were able to play together. They linked up the midfield very well. They controlled the ball. We weren't creating as much, but at least we were controlling the ball in the midfield. Today, he took him out and brought on Eriksen. Why would you take out one controller for another? You should be taking on McTominay. He kept on McTominay for no reason. I didn't even check the stats. I usually check the stats the day we lose because I get so angry and I want to do the match reaction the same day. I start backing up all my arguments with stats. Today, I'm not even worrying about that. Today, I'm just relaxing. We picked up the win. I'll worry about that tomorrow. But a disaster class from McTominay again. By the way, that should have never been a penalty for anyone who watched the highlights.
Yeah, I watched it.
He kicked the air.
He kicked the air for sure.
He kicked the air.
Can I big up 2 people? Can I big up 2 people? Digital Drifter gifted 1 membership. Thank you. So if you got a membership, you got to thank him. And Martin gifted 5 memberships. The whole channel now, I have like 70 members, which it's very strange. Guys, if you're a member, check out the members community. Check out the community. There's a post there where you can email me. And we did the show last Sunday when I had 5 members for a whole hour. We get chat about anything. I had.
Where's my membership? I want one.
2 Arsenal fans. You don't need a membership to be on the. You're freaking on the panel. You don't need a membership.
Will has one, and he's always on the panel. Yo, someone give me a membership, please.
Will is a member. That's why he's always here. That's why he's always here.
Big up, I saw.
Yeah, big up, Martin. Thank you for everybody that is supporting the channel. Guys, your support is what keeps the channel going and growing. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Daily content. Keep going because we're not going to stay for long because I know Dawood has to leave in about 5 10 minutes.
I have to go too. But listen, it wasn't a good game. Højlund was feeding up on scraps again. The midfield was just absolutely garbage. Onana, obviously, as we said, he saved the penalty. So in an isolation, that moment was very good for him because we've seen him. To be fair, he cost us 6 points in the Champions League, and then he gifted us 3 points. So it's like I don't know what is it with this guy. You know, just don't give me no points and don't cost me points. I just want you to go under the radar for the next few games. It's enough. That's enough highlights. That's enough highlights for Onana. But I was very happy for him because it was actually the last key of the game. Like he saved it, and the referee blew the whistle. You know. But the game, if I'm being very honest, there's so many questions.
He had
that need
another
to be
save that is better than the penalty, by the way. The other save is way better
It
than
was the first shot in the first in the second half, and it was a very good save. So he did his job, and I'm gonna quote Neji on that because he said that today on the terrace. So he's like, we're praising him for doing his job. Listen, we were criticizing for not doing his job, so I gotta praise him when he does his job.
Goalkeepers' jobs are not saving penalties, by the way. Like this is by the way, goalkeepers don't normally save penalties, but yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So big up for what he did. But the performance, there's so many things that need to be talked about.
So Maguire is gonna start against Manchester City?
I mean, who else is gonna start? It's not like we have options anyways.
I was gonna say Man United, Man City, Staffy. I think you might not need to watch that game. I think
just make sure you guys check on me. Make sure you check on me.
Yeah, just for your mental health, because the way you're playing this season and how open you are and how many chances you give the opposition, I think it's going to be a field day for Man City. Man City right now, I don't know. I don't know what to say about Man United, because what are Man United's targets this season? Is it just to find ways to win game? Because last season, I think Man United overachieved last season, where this season they don't know where they want to go. Do they want to finish top 4? Do they want to, challenge for major trophies? They're in a situation where even the fans don't know where they want to go. And performances from last season this season, they look atrocious when it comes to performances. They get dominated by so many teams. Sheffield United, one of the worst teams, nearly got a point against them. And I think it's that situation where they just have to go through this Man United now and just find a way where they can find wins and as soon as possible get their team fully fit. And then when they can get their team fully fit, then I think you'll see the real United. But for now, I think you have to go through the different.
Today we were fit enough to see glimpses. I'm not actually, you're being too kind. Today we were fit enough to see glimpses because we had a natural left back playing today, who everyone told me once they start overlapping, we have a left back that overlaps with Rashford is going to make it a little bit easier for him. I saw Rashford ignoring so many overlaps today, by the way. I couldn't understand why every time he would stand on the ball. Remember, Mo, you said the one time he stands on the ball like he's Neymar? You know when you size up your defender, you just stand, you wait to see which defender you're going to draw out, and you size them up and you take them off. He kept doing that all game, but then he doesn't take on anyone. Like, you're not that guy. Stop doing that. He ignored all the overlaps. No, seriously. He was picking up the ball from the halfway line. And shout out to Griggs, because we talk about this a lot. And he says we play with him like he's Ryan Giggs. Like we still play 4-4-2, where we have Ryan Giggs and Beckham picking up the ball from the halfway line. These guys are left wingers, not left mids. Why is the manager's instructions for our wingers to be picking up the ball so deep in the pitch, not in the final third? I see Martinelli picking up the ball in the final third a lot, same as Saka. Same as so many other wingers. I'm just using them as an example since you guys are the Arsenal fans. There's so many things wrong with this team. The team today looked frustrated. They don't know how to play together. And at some point, as much as I don't rate a lot of them, the manager needs to be asked questions, because I need to see something. Not everything has to click right away, but I need to see something. And today, the midfield looked confused. The wingers looked confused. There was a point where Onana picked up the ball. Onana was almost at the halfway line, and he has Maguire, Varane, and one more player. I forgot who. All of them are lined up next to each other. And Onana just looks around and he's like, there's no pass. So he goes along and he kicks it out of the pitch. And I'm looking at him like, what the fuck was even that? Like, what is the plan there? Why are you guys so close to each other?
If you haven't watched the highlights, everybody in the chat and Brandon and Dawood, go watch. And I want you to focus on one player, on Anthony. Every time he got isolated. And you can tell the difference between Martinelli, Saka, and every other winger like Bowen, Salah, Diaz, everybody else, and Anthony. He's a very negative footballer that it's unbelievable. The guy is scared to run with the ball.
I said last season, Mo, after the Arsenal-Man United game, that Anthony will flop because
I didn't expect it to be that bad, bro, to be honest.
He's atrocious. You can see the traits. Like he reminds me very much of, in a way, like Nicola Pepe. Apart from Pepe,
don't disrespect Nicola Pepe like that. What is wrong?
That's what I mean.
Nicola Pepe used to do something.
Apart from Pepe actually used to do something, Anthony's just like a fidget spinner. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know how Man United fans can sit there and try to defend him. And I'm like, what are you defending, bro?
Madness.
The guy is useless on the pitch. Play Mount. Play anybody else.
Thank you for reminding me of that. Hold on. Thank you for reminding me of that. This guy, I didn't even want him for 60 million. and now we're benching him. Why? Wait, I'm so confused.
I have it.
Yeah,
they have one for 65, bro.
No, but listen
they
to
have
me,
one
Mo.
here for 65, not 60.
Momo, listen to me. Havertz played bad for so long that he got benched. Mount got injured, came back, actually had 2 decent performances, and I'm gonna hold my hand up and say he wasn't the worst midfielder from the midfielders we had against Galatasaray in the game that we won was Brentford. He wasn't the worst one, but ever since he hasn't been playing, he's been on the bench. And I'm like, that was your big signing of the summer. You chose him. He was the first guy you signed for 60 million. You went for that profile just to bench him and play him in McTominay. I've seen people today in the chat saying, Stuffy, you told me the midfield would be better if Casemiro gets benched. Yeah, but I never told you let's play McTominay. Like, why are we ignoring the second half of my statement? My first statement was Casemiro needs to be benched. But in what world did I say let's start playing McTominay over Casemiro, Mount? Bro, I was putting my hopes on an 18-year-old. That's how desperate I was. I never said I wanted McTominay to play. You know, the guy was attempting 9 passes in 70 minutes. That's one pass every 12 minutes. Oh, bro, it's embarrassing. Mo, can I leave, bro? You know,
yeah. So
I'm gonna keep going, and
I need to do a couple of super chats, and then I will let the guys know because someone addressed Arsenal again in the super chat. So go ahead. You wanted to say something before you go.
Oh, I thought you were gonna read the super chat. No, if I'm gonna go now. I was just gonna say big up. Obviously Brandon, even though he sits there and he lies about my name a lot. Big up Dawood. I'm surprised it took you that long to get your debut on Mo's channel. I will talk to him after the show and ask how the guy's channel's been running for about 3 weeks and he's already had like 1,000,001 guests. But you just made your debut. I don't know, something was wrong there. But big up Mo for having me.
Our schedule just collided, and then we just haven't had time to.
I was just trying to get the Mojenda going.
You can try. I'm not gonna.
I was gonna get the Mojenda going. But listen, guys, after the stream, inshallah, stay on the stream. After the stream ends with Mo, I am doing an NBA season opener watch along on my channel with a couple of my guys. So make sure you guys, when you're done with this show, to tune in there. Obviously, smash the like button. Subscribe to Mo if you're new. Subscribe, obviously, to Brandon, Dawood. And if you want to subscribe to Staffy TV and you don't want to sit in the chat all day and hate, because I see you guys, I just don't adjust you guys. But if you guys want to subscribe, make sure you subscribe there. And big up for having me, Mo.
Thank you,
show as usual.
Thank you for joining. Hopefully, we'll talk more about Man United soon.
We will.
We will. Boys, but yeah, big up. Thank you so much. A couple of super chats here. The first one is Francis again. Is saying City won 10 games, 1-0 penalty in the last 3 years, just 10 games. Ranting about wins. What the AFC are not bad. Brandon trying to create a negative narrative about the team. Hold on, before you do that, Dawood, do you think the super chat is correct?
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. But no, not the where Brandon's creating a negative narrative.
Well, that's the main point, though.
Is that with the first point where Man City? How many times where you watch Man City and you think Man City are playing poor? They're not playing with the same fluidity, but they somehow find a way to win. They've done that so many times over the years. And I think Brandon will be happy when we lift that Premier League title at the end of the season, when we have these kind of performances more often, and he'll think, okay, yeah, we didn't perform against that team, but we got them 3 points, and yeah, it was crucial. You'll find at the end of the season where these kind of games where we didn't perform well, like Chelsea, the way we found a draw, imagine winning the title by 1 point. So these kind of performances, these kind of ways of not losing, I think it's going to be very vital for us to win the title.
Yeah, Brandon, it's your time. Guys, there's 190 people here. Can we get to 150 likes? There are people that I put a vote in there, and I said, can we get to 150 likes? Some people actually, instead of hitting the like button, said no way, which doesn't make any sense. Literally voted no way. Listen, I'm going to keep the guys for 5 minutes. So send your super chats if you want questions, if you want to interject with them, of course, send the super chats. Of course, it will help the channel massively. Of course. So Brandon, this was addressed to you.
I thought you was going to say
I disagree because I was similar with Inter last year. Inter were winning in the Champions League, and I wasn't liking Inter in the league, and I said I don't like what I'm seeing, and I was called negative as well. So yeah. I have
this is the thing, you know, there's no such thing as realism these days, apparently. You're just either positive or negative. And unfortunately, I get put on the side of negative quite a lot. People don't actually really listen to my points and what I make and question anything to do with the football club. And they're the type of fans that really annoy me, right? Because they sit there and go, Arteta said everything's great, so everything's great. Oh, Arsenal said everything's great, so everything's great. That's not always the case. That's not always the case. I just try and look at it in a scenario where, you know, if you look at things in a different perspective, then you can always be surprised if it turns out to be different, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whereas, you
Well,
know,
a little bit.
I probably have a very skeptical, you know, outlook on things. But I have 20 years with no league title, 3 years with no trophy, and
but don't you think you hold the club higher than where it should be?
Never won a Champions League to back me up in my talk, and that's it. You know, like Dale said, if we win the Premier League title this season, playing like we're playing, do you really think I'll care? Not at all. Not at all. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, and that's all I want. And unfortunately, you know, Dale knows me as well. I don't sit here going, I was right. But in the past 3 years, what I have said about the football club has ultimately ended up being right. So, you know, it's not a case of, like, people need to, sometimes they just need to listen and take on board. They don't have to agree, but take on board what somebody else is saying from a different perspective rather than just looking at it from one way or the other. Like Dowd, compared to me, is seen as super positive. But
by the way, Staffy and Omar are the same. They're friends.
But when I listen
Omar
to
is always positive and Staffy is like skeptical, a little bit.
But when I listen to Dowd, I don't go, oh, this guy, you know, complete. I actually take on board some of the things that he says and some of the points that he makes, and I actually agree. So it's not a case of one way or the other. I don't get this whole perspective of either you're positive or you're negative. I think that's a load of crap, to be honest with you. But big up for the super chat.
Thank you everybody that supported the channel. A couple more super chats. Number one is this one, digital difference. Only want to keep me past 12 a.m. aside from my missus. I think if you're talking about me, in a good way. Make sure to like the video and subscribe. All right. Thank you so much for the support. And Ahmed Suleiman, of course, my Egyptian brother, just supporting. Make sure to hit that like button, people, of course. And this is the last chance to send something because we're almost the hour. I'm gonna end it on an hour. Ozan Kabak, yes, he played center back. I love this name. Yo, Mo, realistically, how far Inter can go in the Champions League? We can win the Champions League. It's as simple as that.
Impossible.
Why it's impossible? You're a hater, bro.
If you come against Man City,
you haven't even
no chance.
Against who?
Man City or Arsenal, you got no chance.
Bro, you're rubbish in comparison with us. You're rubbish. Bro, you're good in the Premier League, bro.
When it comes to probability, I think I
don't care about probability. I know my team,
second favorites or third favorites for the Champions League.
Bro, if you play Inter now, I will literally fancy my chances against you are 80%. Wow. What are you talking about? You have, in comparison to our players, you have zero experience in the Champions League. Dude, we were knocked out of the group stage. Then we went to play Liverpool and we lost the games while being the better team. And we lost the game fair and square by being the better team until we reached the final the year after. And we gave City probably the toughest game of the season. And we were just unlucky. Lukaku blocked the freaking shot from going to the goal. Bro, you just don't do that. And you haven't watched Inter this year. Bro,
we'll see, man. We'll see. That's not
just as much as I don't like him, we have the top scorer of Europe. You know that, right? Flat out. Lautaro Martinez is the top scorer in Europe now. It's as simple as that.
Erling Haaland is in Saliba's back pocket. He can be in other. Lautaro Martinez can be in other back pocket. That's fine. That's all I want to say.
Spurs scored 2 against you. And who else? Did you just play Chelsea?
Real quick, Mo, because I know
what is going on.
I know you want to wrap up, right?
Yeah.
Let's just talk about Spurs real quick because I see about 8 Spurs fans sat on the football terrace last night saying they're going to win the league. What are they smoking?
Do you want me to talk about it, or you want Spurs fans? Because I can talk about it. And
talk about it.
From a neutral point of view. Let me do that. If only Hakan Çalhanoğlu blocked that Rodri shot. Yeah, if I'm butts, but listen, Man City, it was a 50-50 game and we lost the game fair and square. It was their time. It was their time to win a treble, Ozan. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everybody that sent the super chat. Let me give you something. Arsenal, you in particular, Brandon, you last year never imagined that you will be in a title race after 20 games or 25 games. You never thought about it. If I asked you in game week 10 on 15 last year, you would say, yeah, we're playing very good football. I don't think it will last. I don't think it will last. It lasted until major injury happened, which is Thomas Partey first and then Saliba. Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I believe, and I'm going to keep saying this, if Saliba stayed fit last year, you were going to win the league. And we were never going to know, but the facts are there. You win most of the majority of the games with Saliba. He proved this year he's one of the best defenders out there, and he got injured, and your whole team collapsed. Spurs this year, do you see how Arsenal play last year? Do you think Spurs play the same brand of football this year? Scintillating football? Similar. Not the same, of course. Similar. Are they winning?
Yes.
Yeah.
9 games in, 23 points. Only lost 4 points. Right? Of the season.
Do you not think?
You can challenge me on it, and I will accept the challenge.
But do you not think it's too early for
Of
Spurs?
course, 100%.
We're going to win the league.
Game week 30, if you are 5 points or 6 points ahead of Manchester City and Liverpool, if they get a DM, it's too early to say that you will win the league. 100%. Nobody, by the way, any Spurs fan any team that is 6 points ahead of Manchester City come game week 30 and say we will win the league are absolutely going overboard, because you have seen that City can win the last 8 games in a row. They can win all of them, right? And not a lot of teams can do that other than Liverpool. And it's not this Liverpool. It's the Liverpool of the Fabinhos, the Henderson, the Milner. It's not this Liverpool, by the way. It's the Liverpool of peak Van Dijk. But Spurs have all the right to sit here and say, well, we saw Arsenal last year play sensational football, and they gone all the way to get 80, how many points? 85 points. Why can't we? If we go in January and get a couple of players, why not? Why people just try to say, no, you won't do it. You won't do it. Based on what? What was Arsenal evidence before last year?
The difference between last season and this season, last season, the only major Premier League title challenger were Arsenal and Man City. I think this season, there's more teams that are likely to challenge for the title. Liverpool look way stronger this season. Arsenal obviously challenging for the title. There's Man City. So there's 3 teams that you're competing against. Last season, we were only competing against Man City. And you saw it when we faced against Liverpool. We beat Liverpool. We beat Chelsea. We beat Man United. We beat Spurs comfortably. So the reason why they're not going to win the title is because there's too much competition.
Nobody said they're going to win the title. But do you think after watching them now, okay, number one, the reason you said makes it easier to be closer to the top. Do you know that, Dawood? The reasons you said that there is Aston Villa, there is Brighton away, there is Newcastle away, it makes it easier to be closer to the top, because Man City will also struggle against this team. Liverpool will also struggle against Brighton away. Unless you are convinced that this Man City will win every game of the season and they will only lose a couple. Well, the evidence is there. They already lost 2 out of 9.
Right? But we'll see.
I'm not saying they're going to win the game. They're going to win the league, Dawood. But I'm going to say, based on what I see now, I see no evidence of them not being there and thereabout when game week 30 happened. Now, from that point on, it's completely different, because that's business end of the season. They have no credit in the bank for me to judge them.
Yeah.
But based on what I see now, I'm just going to go look at Spurs' next 4 games. The only tough game that I would say they might lose is Chelsea, and it's at home. So talk to me game week 13 when they only lost 6 points. If they draw, what's then? Are you going to change your opinion?
No. Will said in the chat that Arsenal isn't challenging for the title.
Yeah, Will's opinion is that Arsenal were a fluke last year and you're not challenging. He literally said that. That's his opinion. By the way, that's not my opinion. That's his opinion. You can challenge him on that. Will is here on the channel every other day, so you can challenge him on.
We'll have the same discussion when Spurs do a Spursy and they somehow bottle it in December, January, and then it's back to.
But
Spurs.
what do you mean bottle it? You don't have anything to bottle.
No, as in bottling, as in challenging for the title.
All right then. Like
Being in the discussion, they're gonna bottle being in the discussion. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna bottle being in the discussion. It's gonna be an irrelevant story for Spurs again in another season where they're already out of the League Cup. They haven't got Champions League football. They haven't got any European football. Their only way of winning a trophy this season is the FA Cup. So it's going to be another trophyless season for Spurs. I think we, as football fans, we're going to seasons where we want to win trophies. But Spurs is just about playing good football, and that's all it is for them.
All right, fair enough. The last super chats, digital trips. Mo, keep up the A guests. Like you, the A-star guests. Like I like these two, to be honest. Actually, it was very reasonable football conversation, and I'm glad that everybody enjoyed it. Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate everybody. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Keep like those, share it on your socials as well. Thank you, Dawood, for being here. Congratulations, people. Congratulations, Brandon. Thank you for helping, guys.
No problem.
And hopefully keep it up, because we need more challengers for the freaking title, because we cannot have Man City win it again. This is what we cannot have.
They're not winning it.
We'll see. Thank you so much for everybody joining us. We really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everybody that supported the channel. Big shout out to the people that supported the channel. From Miss Gunner, of course, Will, KK, Francis, of course, Digital Drifter, Martin. These are the Ozan Kabak, of course, and Ahmed Sulaiman and Digital Drifter. Again, thank you for everybody that supported the channel. I love you, love the community, and thank you, everybody, and see you guys soon. We're out.